Let's take a quick call now. Junaid is a Leeds fan. Does he agree with Gabby that Leeds should perhaps consider getting a new manager? A very good morning, Junaid. How are you?
Good morning,
delighted
Junaid.
this morning.
Leeds
He's
are
off.
falling apart.
He's off.
Again. Leeds are falling apart again. Morning, Ali. Morning, Jack.
Morning, mate. Congratulations, you're buzzing. And what a way to do it. You did it in some style, didn't you?
Oh, we did 6-0, Cappy, can you?
What do you think, mate? What do you think? What changes, Junaid? I don't want to take any away disappointment. So I want you to enjoy your next couple of days because you thoroughly deserved it. But I want to ask you the question: what's it going to take for Leeds to stay in the top flight and establish themselves to the likes of Bournemouth and Brentford and Palace and teams like that, Forest and Brighton? Yeah.
Well, firstly, I just want to say I hope Gabby's washed his tears away because he thought we were going to burn it. So, sorry, Gabby, to disappoint you. Sorry, mate. But anyways, Gabby, you know what? To be fair, I agree with the point you said earlier today when I was in the car driving back home from work because I did a night shift. You said about being ruthless in the Premier League. You know what? I agree. We have to be ruthless. And I obviously will celebrate. I will put my hands up and say Farke's done a brilliant job, right? But I don't think he's a manager for us in the Premier League. And I will say it, if the 49ers are listening, we should get rid of him in the summer.
I just think, do you know what you need? I just feel that, listen, it's a horrible thing to put out there because he's done outstanding to get you up 100%. To the Premier League, but it's ruthless, isn't it? We see players are going to get told, okay, you've done great in the Championship, but you're not Premier League quality, sorry, thanks for your service, goodbye. If they want to be ruthless and say, if there's a top manager out there and available and wants the project, you never know, do you, mate?
Tough school. Junaid, listen, thanks very much for your call. Mate. You enjoy the rest of your day, mate. Joining us now is a man who has managed Leeds, won promotion to the Premier League multiple times and saved clubs from Championship relegation. He's done it all, in fact. Good morning to Neil Warnock. Neil, good morning.
Neil.
Morning, both of you. Yeah, good morning.
Neil, listen, mate, you know it better than anybody. That Championship does not disappoint. Before we move to the bottom, which is absolutely... We've not really given that the service it deserves yet this morning. However, got to congratulate Leeds and Burnley. Just fell away at the final hurdle, Sheffield United, mate.
I know. I think obviously when you come into the playoffs, when you've been up there all year, it's very difficult to start again for the playoffs. So... I've done it always, really. I've got promotion from the playoffs, finishing sixth, just creeping in at the end of the season, like a little bit like what Coventry look like they're going to do. And it is difficult to regroup and then go again when you've been so close to going automatic. But all credit to Daniel Farke. Yep. I mean, he had some stick, early on in the season, Ali. They weren't getting the wins. They had 4 or 5 games without a win, and crowd are getting a bit irritated. But I just think he's done a fabulous job, me, and he's brought the best out of. I mean, my favourite player is Dan James. I've loved him for a couple of years, mate, and he just excites me. And I'm looking forward to seeing him go at the defenders in the Premier League, mate. And all credit to Burnley. Yeah, at times, you could go and put the coffee on and make a cup of tea instead of watching them during a game because you're not going to concede a goal. But at the end of the day, as a manager, you get the best out of what you've got, and that's what he's done. He's done brilliant, and good luck to him.
Neil, you see you've been promoted so many times as a manager. I know you was ruthless as well. Is this the time now over the next couple of weeks where you're having meetings and you're like, fantastic, we got up, but we're already looking at next season and what players are going to get sold and not part of next season's plans?
Yeah, it's difficult. I mean, I've been a little bit unlucky in the Premier League because every time I've got up, there's been a problem at the club, and the owners, like QPR, wanted to sell it, so I never signed a player till the end of August, really. And Sheffield United, there were no money hardly, so it was so difficult for us. But I think from a manager's point of view, it's all right saying you've got to get quality players in, but it's so expensive now. You've got to get the best out of what you've got and look to bring 2 or 3 quality. Yes. You can't be chopping and changing and bringing 6 or 7 in. It's just impossible. You've got to hope that team spirit that's got you there with the inclusion of another 2 or 3, 4 good players can do it. But you've got to be careful because the players you bring in, they've got a bit of right character.
Yes.
You don't want to destroy the dressing room spirit, Gabby. You know what it's like. You bring the odd player in that thinks he's better than them, and all of a sudden you've got a poisonous dressing room, and that doesn't help either. So it's a difficult time for the managers.
Neil, tell me, I mean, down the bottom of that, dear me.
No.
Oh, man, Hull 2-1. Derby winning at West Brom. Cardiff getting a draw home to Oxford. Plymouth 3-1 Coventry. I mean, Luton 3-1 against Bristol. What's happening down there?
I know. I mean, Plymouth have got Leeds at home. They'll just take over to celebrate the last game of the season. But I just think that it's so close. They've all had opportunities over the last few weeks to get out of it. Plymouth can't do anything away from home, unfortunately, at the minute. Cardiff have had opportunities to get out of my old club, and Aaron Ramsey's taken it on the last two games. They've got a chance. They've got West Brom at home and Norwich away. Luton are just hanging in there with Derby. Derby don't seem to be able to pull away even when they get a result. And then you've got Hull. Even Oxford and Preston on 49 will be glad to get another point on board. It's a great league, Ali. I know the Premier League's tight at the top for a change, isn't it? Which is exciting. But I love the Championship, and I love the playoffs. I've had 4 playoff wins at Wembley, and they're all fantastic days if you win. They're horrible if you lose.
Even one stage as well yesterday, Middlesbrough were in the playoffs above Coventry, and then Middlesbrough go and concede 2 goals to Sheffield Wednesday. I mean, it must be so frustrating being a Borough fan.
Well, I was up there. Yeah. In fact, I was disappointed to leave there because I thought we could go up that year when they let me go. But Michael did a steady job. Just that when the chips, things are down on the table, it's getting over the line, and they haven't been able to get over the line the last couple of years. It's almost like they've hit a barrier and they just can't get in. And it looks difficult for them to get in the playoffs. I mean, they're not going to give in, obviously. And fabulous club, Gabby, isn't it?
Yes.
It's a good club training ground. Agreed. Everything's geared for the Premier League. So it'll be disappointing for them again this year.
Just saying, Neil, obviously we're talking points, top of the league and relegation. Not disappointment, got to mention it, big Tony Mowbray. It's sad to see somebody lose their job, but is it a massive surprise in the cutthroat of the Championship? It certainly doesn't look as though they're going to make playoff places.
No, they're not. They're not going to make it now. I'm disappointed. Listen, the most important thing for Tony is he's recovered health-wise. Yes. So football will take care of itself. He'll go again, will Tony? I'm disappointed that they're not, because at one stage about 3 weeks ago I thought they would get in the playoffs. But it's a ruthless league. It's a ruthless job, isn't it, managing football? So good luck to him, and I hope he recovers, carries on with his recovery. But hey, and Ali, and don't forget, you're talking about the Premiership and the excitement of the Championship, but Torquay are level top now, with 1 game to go, and there's about 5 clubs could win the league with about
amazing.
one game to go. And yesterday I was at Torquay, and they played Weymouth. There were 5,600 fans at that level.
Incredible.
It's amazing, isn't it?
I think we've got a great game in this country, haven't we?
Yes.
When you look at all the leagues, it's a fabulous game. So to everybody, all the best over the next few days.
You know what, Neil, as well, quickly, even Wrexham winning, Wickham losing 4-0 to Charlton. Yeah. Now Wrexham are in that second spot.
Charlton are going well, I know.
It'll be hard, won't it, Gabby? That league next year, the Championship with Wrexham. If Wrexham come in, they'll spend.
Yes.
Birmingham have already spent, so it's going to be a tough league next year to survive and to go up.
Yes,
so
agreed.
It promises great. I know good. I mean, let's be fair. They've got some good crowds and brought a bit of excitement, hasn't it? A bit of glamour, Wrexham, if I'm honest.
Yes.
Smashing, Neil. Listen, mate. Thanks for coming on as usual.
Neil. Appreciate it, pal.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app, and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.